If I leave St. John, it's never to leave for good because I'm always going to come back. It's home.
I am one of those people who long for the good old days. I like the culture of St. John. I like the traditions of St. John. I don't need St. John to change. If I need fast, I can get on a plane and go to New York.
One of my go-tos is always having a museum space or a cultural center that is not just for visitors, not just for tourists, which it would be for them too, because you want people. I mean, that's when tourism is healthy. You want people to come and learn about your community. You want people to interact and learn about who you are, but also for, of course, primarily for Virgin Islanders and for St. Johnians.
And we often find ourselves to be on the receiving end of displacement by way of like gentrification, being priced out, and or not necessarily always feeling marketable according to the way that the tourism market in the Virgin Islands represents this particular conception of America's paradise, but also the way that it represents the quote unquote native Virgin Islander as someone who is always supposed to be in service to the tourist who is visiting our home.
In the very US-centric sense, the skin color-based presentation of St. John in particular has affected the types of tourism experiences that happen here. The ways the national park certainly markets this very white vision of like this sort of empty landscape that you just come to enjoy on your white sand beach with your, vaguely tropically inspired drink, all of that.
Park has been both a very positive as well as negative. I mean, when you consider now how much of the coastline that is in park is starting to become overwhelmed, you realize how important it is to have the park, because at least some of the coast maintains a certain amount of degree of openness. Just driving up here today, I was looking down right before I drive up here, and I was like, oh, that's a different look. I'm accustomed that this should be just being open. That was a regular launching spot for me to go spear fishing. Now I don't have access to that because it's become a commercial endeavor. So,
the worst thing I could envision for St. John would be the loss of the park. Truly, just look at St. Thomas, look at St. Martin. Look at some of those islands that are heavily developed, and that could be St. John.
Because St. John is such a large park, it's a park, which has some benefits, but we give people the idea that somehow I'm living on a reservation. I could only go so far, could only do this, could do that. And maybe I don't want to get involved in issues because it's no longer my island. I'm just a resident on the island, just surviving on the island.
If I want to keep, or anyone wants to keep their acreage pristine and natural like the national park, we are penalized. The park doesn't pay any taxes, but we have to. On St. John, and St. John is in a particular category by itself because St. John is so small, however way you divide it up, we all are going to fall into the high-end category of real estate. Now, I have no objections about paying taxes, and I understand that the government does use our property value on the bond market.
Take a stand for your people. Give your people what they need. The national park owns 7,500 acres of St. John and pays $30,000 a year in taxes. Take a stand. Demand value, taxes at value.
And I really believe that land has no loyalty and that there is no land without a people. And when I think about St. John and what scares me about the possibility of our future is thinking that maybe in 40 to 50 years, the people of St. John, the working class people of St. John, the people below the poverty line, even somehow above the poverty line, will not be able to continue life here.
Two St. Johns. The St. John that is wealthy and it can be a rich man's playground or rich woman's playground, and then the St. John for people who are working hard to make a living from day to day.